Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the greatest show on planet G. It's known as Kikao 254. Kikao Kenya.
Kikao Maharu.
Kikao Maharu. One of it reflects on the hottest show on planet G. When everything is great. Ladies and gentlemen, this is just a day. This is the aftermath of Maandamano, and we are here with my co-host, is the one and only Sir Georges.
Ole Mukindis.
Ole Parako. Hey, Sir Georges.
Yeah.
Jana ilikuwa ni kimbi.
Mbio.
Huu ni poni. Tear gas. Nikose.
Tear gas.
Nikose. Na ukinipata. Unajua kuna tear gas ya kujikuna sana. So ilikuwa ni a couple of weeks ago we had Rigathi Gachagua call for demonstrations, but it did not take place. It did not fathom. So it was paka toka mcheka
to never actualize.
It's never actualized. Paka toka mcheka sasa. Nikijibu najifanya baba uleta maandamano, hakuna watu. It was about like 6 to 10 people who appeared in that maandamano. So yesterday when maandamano was called again by, I think the first person I saw was Eric Omondi. Then nikakuja nikasikia Matatu, but for me
hapana, ilikuwa Eric Omondi. Ilikuwa Matatu. Eric Omondi akajaribu kuwaja.
Haikuwa Eric Omondi
parasite.
So when they called for that demonstration yesterday, I don't think even the government really thought it would pan out that way, because what were they talking? The numbers. There was demonstrations. Mombasa, it wasn't that big, but there was demonstrations. Thika, there were demonstrations in Kiambu, Kitengela, there were demonstrations in Rongai, in Gong, in Trans Nzoia, in Kakamega, in firstly most of the parts of the country. But Sir Georges, this maandamano ilikuwa pia na a lot of bullying, a lot of looting, a lot of destroying people's property, and even destruction of life. And of course, we pass our condolences to the families of the bereaved ones. So, Sir Georges, maandamano ya jana, kwanza umeanza na kusema kwamba Eric Omondi alidania. What do you have to say about the maandamano? Nipatie tu your point of view.
Jana to me, maandamano ya jana ilikuwa Matatu community, the owners of Matatu, and requested for this. I mean, they wanted their vehicles not to be on the road,
yes,
not to take part in any activities, not to paralyze the public service, activities.
Yes,
and their Matatus never came on the road. Their drivers were told to stay at home. So in actual fact, those who are doing demonstrations were neither Matatu owners nor Matatu operators.
They can't be that many.
They weren't. They were. And then if my mind, my thinking was right, by 7 a.m. There were many places where people were already demonstrating.
Kickoff.
And what were they doing? Early kickoff. What were they doing? All of them were playing soccer on the road, or Matatu terminals. So what does that tell you? Their mind was the same. Their thinking was the same. So it was a mind of one person.
So Sir Georges, you want to say that this was actually premeditated? It was pre-planned?
100%. And let me tell you, when you see violence like there was yesterday, these are people who are not sober. If you want maandamano to take place, to be effective, you must make sure those who are going there are blood, their thinking is zero, their eyes are nothing, by giving them alcohol, all the substances you think.
Yes.
So yesterday,
yes,
I can say like in Kitengela, I try to look at, because I almost know everybody in Kitengela.
Yeah.
And anytime I'm interacting with people, they will always say hi. I will always say hi. So, but yesterday I tried to look at any person I could recognize. Those who are demonstrating, nobody.
But Sir Georges, let me challenge you on that one before even go far. You can't recognize people that you don't interact with. Sir Georges, you're always right. You possibly interact with business people.
No, me, I'm a mtaa boy, you know. Me ni mtu wa mtaa bwana. Me ni mtaa.
You know, there's a friend of
one day what we going to do one day, I want us to walk around Kitengela. Ukienda sokoni, nenda anakula matunda hapo. Ukienda kwa motorbikes, all of them tunajuana. By name. But yesterday, even wenye bodaboda walikuwa na woga sana. So wenye bodaboda wenyewe walikuwa kicked out of town.
So do you mean to say that in Kitengela yesterday we imported people?
They were brought in Kitengela as early as I don't know what time. And all of them were playing on the roadside, by the roadside. So it means if you look at Naivasha, if you look at Nakuru, if you look at Kitengela, if you look at Nairobi, if you look at Kamiti Road, all those people are playing some game, one game or another on the roadside.
And the government has built for them a very big,
stadiums. And football, we are always last. I mean, so there is a problem in that somebody must have organized the demonstrators.
Now, first of all, the big question would be in Kitengela, because they looted places. Now, there's a friend of ours who had a job down here. And I really feel for him because they looted his accessory shop.
Yes, shops for phones were really the target. Supermarkets. And mostly the shops.
T-coats in Kitengela was raided.
Wakakula
bana pizza. Nasikia kuna rafiki yangu mmoja Msomali pale anaitwa Kiki Kitchen, just next to Baraka Butchery. He's selling just a young man. And he was complaining on TikTok. I could see his videos. They went there and raided his, nini yake hapo ameanza biashara. They went all the way to
mafuta na shop yangu. Gari yangu jana iligongwa na, unajua walitumia nini kugonga gari?
Yes.
Ile sling, ile Daudi. Imagine iligongwa kioo ya nyuma, nikasikia kama risasi na akili yangu imeparalyze kwanza because it was like a bullet. It wasn't a bullet, So unatupa mawe kwa clouds, mawe saisi kwa watu. You don't care kama itagonga mtu kichwa, kama itagonga. What kind of a human being are you?
So there are two angles that I had yesterday from the media. Now, there's a people that are saying this was premeditated by the government. And there are people who are saying this was premeditated by the opposition. Which way for you?
But honestly, why would the government want to disrupt activities? And that is where they are getting money from. You understand? The government is the one that raised the fuel, the petroleum products. So why would they want to do demonstrations to disrupt the operations? And they need this money to operate the country. I mean,
this person was saying that the government usually does gaslight, cause the problem. That theory of causing the problem, solve the problem, just to test the environment, because we're going towards elections. So this person was saying, the government was basically gaslighting. Wanawasha, waoneshe maandamano. That's why it was purely planned. So this person is one blogger called Francis Gaido on X. Niko namusikia pale anasema NIS walipanga kitu. Na wakipanga vizuri sana. Ndio wakuje waangalie wajue waoneshe wa Kenya cheki maandamano. Sasa maandamano tumetuliza. Watu wana tena maneno ya kuandamana, watulizie story ya maandamano, putting in mind that they are supposed to be maandamano on the 25th of June in commemoration of the fallen Gen Zs who walikuwa kule maandamano ya 24th.
Watafanya hivi walifanya jana. I mean, watakuja kuiba vitu zetu tena. Watakuja kuvunja gari, because what is the relationship between my vehicle that is consuming the fuel that is already increased and the fuel increase? Because kama unagonga gari yangu, kama unaiba duka yangu, relationship ya kuiba duka yangu na mafuta kwenda juu ni gani?
Ndio nasema.
Now let me show you another.
The government might have planned wenyewe.
Whether the government has planned or the opposition, we need to call them off. Now, we need to tell them to stop this hooliganism. Because look, also those guys who are demonstrating, you take fire, light it on the tarmac. So what do you think you are doing to the roads? potholes. So who is going to repair the roads?
Us. What taxes?
With what?
Our taxes.
So why don't you think the taxes are going to increase? Akili kidogo, yeah.
So judges, kuna anko lingine liletwa na our CS of Interior, Markham, and there are many people who have, not many people have actually,
bought it.
Not bought it, but what wamekuwa like Markham, and you are the CS of Interior, how can you say this? Because Markham alikuwa anaileta ni kama kuna ukabila pale. Why? This is what it said. Why, when Uhuru was president, why were you not demonstrating? You used to understand him. Why this time that Ruto is the president? Why don't you sit with him? You Matatu operators, you PSP owners. Why
but
don't
it's
you
true. I think that's a fact. That's a fact. Guys from Mount Kenya, we the Mount Kenya people, we don't think anybody else in this country can rule. You only think is either a Kikuyu who can rule this country. But that is not the truth. The truth is all of us are Kikuyu or are Kenyans. And so if Kenya is Mount Kenya, I don't think that is the right thing. Now, do you know why you find all the other communities are coming towards central Kenya?
Yes.
Coming towards Nairobi. It's because there is no infrastructures in the area. Now look, for example, there is a time there was a big debate on education sector with Gachagua saying that they have invested in central Kenya for education and the northeastern people have not invested.
Yes.
So many kids in northeastern Kenya have never seen tarmac road. They have never. You understand? So why anybody who gets money from, if you sell your cattle in northeastern and make money, you come to Nairobi to invest. Kiambu. So they are saying now mmenunua mashamba yetu mmemaliza, but you see those guys with money wakiuza ngamia. Unajua ngamia moja ni kama kununua V8. Wakiuza ngamia wanakuja wapi? Kiambu kununua. So eventually, if you are not investing, doing investment in other parts of the country, all Kenya will be based in Mount Kenya because that is where all the presidents have come from. And it means in Kenya, when a president comes from your place, that is when you find development. Right now, because Ruto is from Eldoret, we are seeing the only there is a dual carriage to Eldoret. You understand? Because it comes from Eldoret. So then we need another one in Mombasa in future so that we can have dual carriage to Mombasa. Tuko na shida, I'm telling you, because people are thinking their regions. Now look, for example, if Mr. Gachagua became the president of Kenya, it will all be about Mount Kenya. Mulima. So we will have a road going to Mount Kenya, top of the Mount Kenya, isn't it? Because I have with your excellence.
Because when it gets very critical when we put such or we align such matters to tribalism. Because in 2007, I know you were around, you witnessed post-election violence. Unfortunately, for some of the young Gen Zs, I was telling them yesterday, wananiambia the heri Kenya ichomeke, but you guys were not here. You're basically still under your mother's arms.
Not even us. Those are how many years? Those are a few years. So let me tell you, 2007, I had invested heavily in Molo and those areas of Nakuru. I was doing wheat.
Yes.
I am close to 1,000, if not more, acres of wheat.
Yeah.
And I lost more than 400 acres. Wakachoma, ikawekwa moto ikachomeka. Sio siasa mbaya, itanirudisha nyuma miaka 200.
Siasa duni.
200 years.
Imagine it was the same card that Jana, people are trying to pull right now, of the Kikuyus are the one right now leading the demonstrations. It is only the demonstrations that are only happening where Kikuyus are based majorly. It's Kikuyus who are participating in the mandamanos. Don't you think this is dangerous for our country?
No, you see, if, for example, you look at Murkomen, what he's saying could be having some facts.
Should even say it.
Could be having some facts. But you see, as a CS, you're not supposed to speak in such a manner.
Yeah.
Because you're supposed to call those whom you can talk to so that you are able to diffuse that. Because now in 2007, 2013, 2017, that period, those 10 years, mostly there were demonstrations in the Luo Nyanza and the Luo communities, the Luya communities. But nobody called them tribal. Yeah? So if the Kikuyus are feeling they are not getting services, they are supposed to demonstrate, and you can't take it from them.
So yeah? This barely 2 years, 3 years, the president was the darling of Muliva. You know, tunakumbuka kima keretele. I think producer knows that song. They were singing loudly. Tutaamka asubuhi, Igize Ruto, and then he won. They converted that to Ni maombi, si uchawi.
Yes.
Ni maombi. What has happened?
What has happened?
That was 2 years, 3 years.
Just very simple. The partner, the deputy president, right, was called Gachagua.
Yes.
And Gachagua is so those people who are never satisfied. Ukimpatia sahani ya githeri, anataka umpatie na mchele pia. You know, it's somebody who can never be satisfied.
Yeah. And I would say, yeah, alleged, according to you.
No,
the POV.
No,
the point of
I'm giving my views.
Yes.
These are not your views. So what
these are the views of the show.
What happened is one day there was Mandamano, Gen Z Mandamano.
Yes, the Gen Z uprising.
And I think Gachagua was parcel of the organizers of the Mandamano. Because when the president, you know, normally, naturally, in Kenya, the president speaks last. Once the president speaks, nobody else can speak. The meetings are dissolved. All of you goes home. So you cannot come back to speak after the president has spoken. So during that time, President Ruto ended a speech in Nairobi. Immediately he finished, Gachagua stood up.
So that's why you say that he must have been involved.
So probably, you know, it's not normal for the deputy president normally invites the president to speak. But this time it was in Mombasa. I think alikuwa kwa ile hoteli ya brother yake yenye aliachiwa na brother yake yenye ali-inherit from his brother.
I know where you're going with that one.
So immediately the president finished, he now started speaking and he spoke a lot of trash. So I think that is what caused the parliament to censor him. That is what caused him to be demoted.
So do you mean that Gachagua was that much loved that him being impeached has made the Kikuyu nation, Mlima nation, to be so angry at the president that mpaka sahi watu wanasema demonstration tu kwa Mlima?
Unaona kama angechukua, you know, kama angechukua another Kikuyu amweke as a deputy, hakungekuwa na shida.
Kidiki yako pale.
Kidiki si Kikuyu, ni Meru.
You mean Sir George?
Yeah, you know when it comes now to, you know, inakuanga iko Mount Kenya when a Kikuyu want to be the president, when they are supporting the Kikuyu. But when it's about benefits, it is called Mount Kenya East. You are not aware? Let me tell you now how it goes. Now, when it's about joint venture, when you're investing, it's called Mount Kenya.
Yes.
But when it's about dividends, it's called Mount Kenya East.
So Kindiki is not considered a
Kikuyu. It's considered a Mount Kenya East.
So not a Mount Kenya. So Mlima wants the deputy president.
So if, for example, if we took Didinyoro and give him the deputy presidency, hakungekuwa na shida, tungekuwa smooth.
So we are back in the discussion of the shares.
That is the point. That's the point.
Who gets what?
The shares.
Now that the Luo wants Joho
want it.
Yes. ODM wanataka. Wanasema now Kindiki must go.
So what will happen now? We will, and it's all over. It's within the whole either opposition, what they are calling united opposition, or is the current is it united government, or they call it
alternative?
No. The other the root or team called the
Kenya Kwanza.
United
Broad-based
government. Whether it's broad-based or the united, all of them have a similar problem, because if you are thinking who is going to be the president and the deputy president, there is a lot of mistrust amongst themselves.
Saturdays, I was looking at X a couple of minutes ago, not minutes ago, like hours. That's the manage to go up our minutes, but hours ago, and I realized the Secretary General of the United Democratic Alliance, one Mr. Hassan Omar, was having a presser, and he stated categorically, wakati kwanza nataka utuambie mahindi mashamba umetoa wapi? Babako alikuwa na miaka 85, amepata mzee wa 85, amepata wapi shamba huko Thika? Amepata wapi shamba? Mkachukua ndugu zenyu mkaingiza hapa Ruiru, wakechi kama maskota. What I'm trying to say is the Secretary General of UDA has turned the name of former President Uhuru Kenyatta into this conversation. So where does he come in?
By the way, if you ask me,
Uhuru Kenyatta na fuel.
If you ask me, instead of adding fuel, taxes to the fuel, adding taxes to the petroleum product, we should now be thinking which other sectors in our economy can be taxed. And the most powerful sector that is not being taxed is land. You know, government in Kenya owns a lot of land. All this old land is owned by the government of Kenya, but they charge very small portions. In Nairobi, for example, we have so many just tracts of land that is idle. It's not being utilized, and the purpose of the leasehold land is for the lessees to put up structures or put up activities that are going to benefit the citizens. So if you ask me, the government is sleeping on its resources. So for example, owning a piece of land, for example, in Syokimau, 5 acres, you only pay 800 shillings as rent per year. So that is nothing. In land in Syokimau, 5 acres is about 200 million. And you are only paying 800 bob. So we need to review our rents, you know, so that we can be able to raise money to pay the debts.
Because reading by that, what even the SG was saying, and what I'm seeing on social media is that the bloggers are saying, you mean that Uhuru might be the one who financed this devil? Does he have that ability?
But you see, we don't have the whatever.
We are not wachunguzi.
We are not part of the NSIS, so they know what. Maybe he knows what he's saying. They know what they are saying. But you see, all these tracts of land is owned by the government of Kenya, isn't it? So, but they don't tax it at all. They don't tax it. Why are they taxing me? When I open my own company, they are taxing me heavily on that, just the name, the company name.
Yes.
But the real resources, which is land, is not being taxed.
There's a bill I saw being discussed the other day about the Gen are very angry about the Gen who understand things. There was one who was really challenging me the other day, telling me, it says kuna kwa hii finance bill, kuna bill fulani hapa hivi sio poa, which is saying that the land that you own, your ancestral land, can now be, first of all, it's in tax. Utakuwa unalipa hizo ushuru land rates, utakuwa unalipa land rates, and then after 99 years you renew it. So wanasema now palikuta tumekaa ushago kwetu. You mean that after the 10 years serikali ndio mabiti?
I think that is the wrong thing. You don't target the communal land, because already the government has so much land which they are not taxing. You know why they are not taxing? Because they are the ones who own the land.
But it's there. I have someone who I'll share with you.
No, I'm saying if they are doing that, that is the wrong move.
Yes.
the real thing should be to tax what they own because you are landlord. Yeah. Now the other thing is the government normally, most of the time, they compensate land that is not utilized. You see, if you're given land, you have never utilized that land. Why do you own it? What for?
Just land.
We should have conditions now. We should have new conditions that if you have land and you're not utilizing, it is supposed to revert to the government, so that the government can redistribute that land for those who can be able to utilize. Right now, guys are complaining that tomato is costing. One tomato is costing 20 bob.
Yeah.
But where do you get tomatoes from? From the supermarket? From the farm. But who owns the land? Held by 2-3 people. We are talking of Moi. We are talking of Kenyatta.
But suggest
we are talking of people like
that. We do you want to say that we don't have enough land to do the tomatoes enough?
We don't have.
Unakusema zile mashamba zinalimwa sahihi kule wapi na wapi hatutoshi tomato. Okay.
You see what? You see, community land is supposed to be utilized by the community. Government land is supposed to be utilized by the government and planned for by the government.
Yes.
So if the government, for example, says that Kulalo land is supposed to be on maize,
yes,
then that is a policy. Yeah. So all the lease land, all the leases that we have in the country is owned by the government. So why is the government not taxing that land?
Sir Judges. No. Turudi kwa fuel.
Mpe maji. Apate ya kumeza.
Turudi kwa fuel. There are some quarters that are saying there is a plan being hatched to, get Sisbada and Opio out of government. And that is why their ministries right now are hot. And the people are saying the problem with these two CSs, especially Badi, he has not known when to keep quiet and when to talk. And ultimately, at the moment, he has already started a war with the Odinga family. The other day he was complaining about Ruth Odinga. Ruth Odinga came out, all knives, all war. Winnie Odinga the same, even Mama Odinga. I saw Raila Odinga Jr. on Sunday saying that ODM ni chama ya baba. Na kama ni chama ya baba, ni chama ya the family. So people are saying, is there a plan to edge out Sisbadi out of Ruto's government? Pengine wamutoe wengine mtu mwingine. Do you think it can be that mischievous?
Nikuulize, kwani sasa sababu Mbadi ni CS, hawezi ongea mambo yake? Kwani Raila kila wakati lazima tuongee mambo ya Raila?
Wanasema alikuwa okay, Raila akiwa.
Kwa hivyo sasa kama si baba ni mama. Kama si mama ni mtoto. Zamani tulikuanga tunaita babito. Baba, toto, bibi. Babito. It can't work like that because, the problem with us, we are always thinking in terms of political, how you can, how you can destroy the image of somebody else. So, I think Bandi has been able to do his work. Yeah.
Do you think he's doing it well?
I think he's doing his work. You should know that Kenya, by the time Bandi was taking over, it was like 10 trillion. Yeah? It was around 10 trillion. Now we are around 12 trillion. Yeah? The loans, Now, where I don't buy what he's doing is when it comes to budgeting. Because today we are talking of 3.5 trillion, the current expenditure. Last year, I don't know, it was 2.5 or 2.1. So does it mean every year we are increasing a trillion on the current expenditure? So last year we budgeted for 3.8 trillion. Now we are 4.5 trillion. Why should we keep on in here? And then out of that, about 1 point something is we'll get it. We cannot finance it. We have to borrow. Why can't we operate within our means? Why?
Why? Get on the comment section and tell us why. Why do you think you cannot live? So this. Now, did you get to check out the press yesterday? The CS Wandayi Chirichiri was there, and there was the Matatu, the stakeholders there. Yes. There is this man who, after the presser came out boldly and told the nation, "Apana, no. And I've just seen his post saying that his life is fearing for his life. His life is in danger. What do you make of that presser? People are saying that Wandayi looked like he didn't understand what was going on. He didn't take questions, And then these Matatu guys, why did they come? Why couldn't they not understand each other? So the people are saying the government seems clueless. How can
the problem is our leaders, they are full of themselves. They are full of power. They feel they are the big boys, because like now what was happening there is like they ignored the Matatus. And remember, the ones who asked for, called for the demonstrations and the Matatu guys. It's not the government. So the government was crashing. In fact, this was supposed to be a party or a presser for the Matatu guys.
Yes,
it's not for the government. They are supposed to have been the ones speaking and saying we have agreed. We have. They were being forced. Mulkomen is a rough guy.
Now, Sir Georges, there's another angle that we saw on X where we have seen this blogger called Itum. Gachagua used to call him Mr. Go here, go there. The man with no job description. Na Malala pia kuna kata alimwambia wewe kazi yako ni gani? Hauna kazi, hauna title. Akamwambia I'm just there. But there's a video that is circulating where Dennis Itumbi is in that meeting with the Matatu operatives, the CSTC, Wandayi and people, and he's hard talking. Anasema kwanza sasa hii mnataka tutoe hiyo pesa ya kuapply hiyo loan, hiyo loan mnataka tuapply iweze ku subsidize ama kupunguza hii pressure yote kwa hapa hivi. Trump already has told Iran, he tweeted Trump, told Iran, I'm coming.
Yeah, so he's coming tomorrow.
Yeah, next month tutakuwa shida. But the big question is, some people are not happy that why is a blogger in such a meeting? What is Dennis Itumbi? What is his stature in the government? Why is he there at that moment?
Sikulikuwa na watu wa Matatu hapo. Si hapo na Matatu. Sa Matatu man. Kulikuwa na watu wengi. Kulikuwa watu wengi.
What wanasema the casualness of the government.
Putting us in the grave.
Wanasema serikali inachukulia mambo serious. Wanatuletea blogger.
I think Dennis has a Matatu. Alikuwa hapo kama Matatu. Driver. Owner.
Because wanasema
akona Uber.
A couple of weeks ago alikuwa na president when we had Kalash Awards, and the people complained about piracy, and the president told Dennis Itumbi, the only thing that stands between you and your job is solving this piracy. And Dennis Itumbi has been having, short videos of day 1 solving, day 2 piracy. I think I could day 8. How did you jump from solving piracy to solving petroleum? History of petroleum, na story zote. Fuel. Wanamwambia, mazee wewe.
Now you see he's a blogger, he's a government blogger. So he has to attend.
Yeah, and
he has to attend this one so that he can be able to put it into perspective. When the time comes, now you can be able to say this is what we are doing. He has to be there. But now the problem is
reporter.
Him talking. He's not supposed to talk. He's supposed to be saying nothing.
He's the chief reporter of the government. So he's there by order.
Yes.
And people say that he has the ears of the president. And when you have the ears of the king, you have to be there and speak and shape. Because I feel like Dennis Itumbi is one of the people who really fought for this government.
But by the way, love him or like it. I mean, love him or hate him. Hate him or love him. Love him or love him. He's a great man because he has been able to stay with two governments. He was there during the Uhuru time, and he's now there during the Ruto time.
Yes.
So he knows how to change.
Play ball.
He's a real chameleon.
No, so chameleon, he knows how to play ball. He knows how to play ball.
Yes.
So currently the fuel, the mandamanos have been halted. There's been a presser. That's what the director is telling me, and wamesimamisha maandamano. Are you positive? You think that the government and they will be able to sustain this,
in fact,
camaraderie
what was hurting the Matatu guys was not even the increase in diesel. It was the gap between the kerosene and the diesel. It was so huge. It was very big, such that we were expecting any time that people will start buying diesel and kerosene and mix them, because these two can be mixed. So you reducing the diesel quality to kerosene status. So that was the problem. That was the big problem.
Yes. And that's what we had them.
So what they have done, they have lowered the prices for diesel by 10 bob. Kerosene went up by 38 bob.
Kwa hivyo mkafinya mtu wa juu, mkatengenezea mtu wa juu, mtu wa bottom kafinya.
Because you see, it's because these two are mixable. Sasa hata kama inatumia, then they should be close to one another so that people don't adulterate the diesel.
Yes. So mambo inakuwa mzuri sana, because now we've had at least the strike is at least halted. But Ndindi Nyoro was saying, hii story yote ya mambo ya fuel, hii ni government tu imekataa kujipanga, and this is something that we cannot blame on the seat of our Mars. Tunaweza kusema ati ni the war there, unajua. And
so it has no bearing.
Anasema iko na kidogo, lakini hii serikali tu haijajipanga. Anasema serikali ingejipanga mapema, jinsi ambavyo it can caution its citizens during this time.
But you see, cautioning means subsidizing. And whenever you hear of the word subsidy, it means you're getting money from another place, you're putting it on another place. Now, not everybody in Kenya uses Matatu. Not everybody in Kenya uses a vehicle. Yeah, there are people who have not stepped in a vehicle for like 3 years.
Yes,
majority of us. So it means now you are building those who can drive, those who can commute, and leaving those who are not. For example, so what I'm trying to say is, you don't get money from milk and put it in petroleum. You don't get money from tea and put it in petroleum. So what we are supposed to let the forces, market forces, yes, operate, so that we are not interfering, because by the end of the day, life is not all about petrol.
But wanauliza swali, someone was asking the president Twitter,
yes,
person to person, namuuliza, Mr. President, we saw President Uhuru, we saw you and your team complaining, and President Ruto was almost crying. President Uhuru was almost crying. Akisema mimi mnataka kufanya nini? Mbona mimi niko Ukraine?
Now that is the attitude.
So that is the attitude. Why don't you deal with it?
Now that is, you see, when you deal with it, then people should let you deal with it. Utakani utulize nifanye nini? Unaelewa? Sasa ile wewe ukiulizwa ufanye nini, unasema naongeza bei. Nimeiongeza, imefika, nimeongeza na 46. That is what you are supposed to do as a leader. Unaelewa? So you are not supposed to say nifanye nini sasa? Sasa nifanye nini? Bilioni 2 zinapotea, sasa mnataka nifanye nini? Si ndio? So yeye akiarrest wale watu wenye wanachukua 2 billion, unaanza kupiga kelele. Unaanza kuandamana. Unaelewa? So that is where we are doing it wrong. So that we are supposed to let the forces operate. So that if we are unable to go to work, we walk.
The evil forces.
Yes, on darkness.
Now we have another light factor, which is the surgence of the youth, and they're very angry, and the youth wanna talk about it. So I don't just niliona vijana jana. Let me tell you, I saw the faces of the youth. You can read there is, anger in Kenyan youth. Wanna complain. Sir Georges, is this not setting up a bad precedence for the 2027 elections? And what can
you are not hungry? If you are,
wanasema hungry man, that angry man. No, unasikia gani?
You see what happens is if the youth have a problem, there is nobody who can sort your problem. Nobody. Who is that?
Government. Government.
How can government sort your problem? Government is supposed to give you an enabling environment where you can operate. Give you peace. Make sure they are arresting all those who are peace and tranquility. So that is what the government is supposed to do. Then you are supposed to think. Lakini ukichukua kiraiko uanze kuvuta pale unasema zaga nifanya nini? So that is the problem we are having. That is the problem.
The youth don't want to be active.
Their mental faculties have gone to sleep.
Serikali saidia.
Now, let me ask you. There are guys who wake up in the morning. He knows he has a child. He has a wife. So he wakes up in the morning and goes to work. Anaenda kwa mjengo, anaenda kwa kibarua, anafanya kazi, analetea watoto yake nini? Chakula. Can you imagine ndege msituni kukuwe na kiangazi na ameweka mayai, ametaga mayai, mama mtoto analalia ile mayai alafu anaanza kusema nifanye nini? Serikali saidia. Ni kweli kuna kiangazi, hakuna panzi around, you have the ndege lazima fly far away aende akatafute nini?
But do you think 2027 it will be business as usual?
It will be. If you want to ban the country, unajua ukikufa na mimi nakufa. It's not, both of us are going to die. It's not about, you see sometimes tunanyonya watu sana na watoi maziwa. This time sitaki kunyonya mtu tena. Wewe kama unataka kuchoma nchi, choma. Sasa jana waliiba my friend hapa chini. Sisi wakaiba simu zake zote. Kesho wataiba wapi? Kesho wataiba wapi? Dada yake alikuwa anafanya kazi hapo, sio? Sasa dada yake ni jobless. Dada yake sasa ni jobless. Sasa atafidiwa na nani? We are not using our heads, but we are fighting with our own selves. Unapigana na miguu yako.
I was speaking to the youth yesterday, and one young man was telling me, you know what, if we had work, if we had something to do, I would not have gone to the street. And then he told me, you know what, we feel ignored, we feel neglected, our voices are not heard, the government has no time for the young people. It's creating job huko nje, but the people who are going huko nje ni out of tribalism and everything. So vijana wanasema manze, sisi serikali inatu neglect. Do you think serikali wa neglect?
Let me tell you.
Them more time. Ni mtoto.
Nimekuambia hakuna, unajua ukishakuwa 18 years, wewe sio mtoto tena.
Mtoto wa inchi.
Ukishapewa kitambulisho, wewe jipange bwana. Jipange. Nwanda saa hii unakuta kijana wa 35 years anasema tu mimi ni mtoto. Anaenda kukula kwa mama yake. Anaenda kuoga kwa mama yake. Ananunuliwa sabuni ya kuoga na mama yake, ananunulia underwears na mama yake. This is shame. Shame. Let me tell you, sisi tukiwa emergency vile mnasema tukiingia university, si ndio tulikuwa tunanunulia mama zetu chakula?
Fire.
Sisi ndio tulikuwa tunanunulia mama zetu nini viazi huko kwa soko tunapelekea. So ukimaliza 2 form 4 form 6 hivi wewe unaangaliwa kama mwenye ana provide for the family. Lakini saa hii unasomesha mtoto anamaliza university kinakaa hapo kwa nyumba tu kwa mama yake. Chenzi. Ajoli akasemanga chenzi wewe.
Ladies and gentlemen, it was deemed as the fuel crisis of the year right in Kenya, and the people viewed it as a point of no return for the government of the day. And the people said that these demonstrations are going to take a different shape. But we've seen that the demonstrations have been halted, and we don't know which way forward for Kenya. You, as the viewers of our show, this is Kikao Kenya. Get to engage us on the social media handles, and also get on the comment sections and tell us how did the demonstrations, fuel demonstrations, how did you face them where you are? How did they affect you? And what do you think is the way forward for the Kenya? And what do you think, are the youths being targeted or are they being used? Wanapata pesa, wanalipwa. Sajoje? Vijana wanalipwa ama wanakuwa targeted when they are arrested?
Vijana,
are they having peaceful maandamanos? Wanakuwa targeted, wanakuwa arrested.
Wao ndio wana target.
Wao ndio wana target.
Wanakosa target.
And right before we leave, Sajoje, one word for that OCS. Kuna OCS ambaye ame-release wale walikuwa wamefungwa jana. OCS wa Central Police Station ame-release wafungwa wote jana. Na after kurelease nasikia ameshikwa. Utaulizwa nani amekupatia mamlaka ya kurelease hao watu? Na kuna kina Boniface Mwangi wametoka pale na press, hata actually wamesema watamlipia legal fees, kwa sababu wanasema kuna OCP alipigia akamwambia release watu, lakini serikali pengine inauliza why did you release? We arrested this guy because of demonstration.
Mi naona before niseme kitu, twende for a short break, tukirudi tuendelee.